Question Time took an interesting detour on Thursday. All week, the government has been parading its national security credentials, while Labor has been targeting budget cuts. So on Thursday, the opposition zeroed in, focusing on one budget cut in particular. It's claimed that the government is cutting spending to the Australian War Memorial.
Can the Prime Minister provide an update on the situation in Iraq and the role that Australia will play?
I appreciate the support that he and the opposition have given to the government as we do our bit to deal with the humanitarian disaster now unfolding in northern Iraq. Australia has not been officially asked for military assistance. If we were asked for military assistance, there would be the standard approvals process that would involve cabinet decision-making and consultation with the opposition.
In the year of the Centenary of ANZAC, why has the Prime Minister cut the entire funding of the Australian War Memorial's travelling exhibitions program?
While $800,000 for small travelling exhibitions has not been paid, $10 million in seed funding for a very large travelling exhibition has been paid.
Before the election, the Prime Minister promised to support the War Memorial. Why has the Prime Minister broken this promise and cut funding to the War Memorial?
We have not cut support for the War Memorial. A series of small travelling exhibitions are giving way to a much larger travelling exhibition.
The Australian War Memorial has confirmed the Abbott government has cut $800,000 in funding for its travelling exhibitions program. I also note the Department of Veterans Affairs has recently released details of this year's contracts for media monitoring and market research totalling $810,000. Prime Minister, why is the Abbott government putting its own spin ahead of properly funding Australia's War Memorial?
I want to stress that the $800,000 that he refers to has not been cut. It has simply been allocated, as I understand it, to other commemorative events.
The Leader of the Opposition.
The Prime Minister seems unaware that the Minister called it a cut. The Minister knows
Jagger will remove herself under 94A. I said the member will remove herself under 94A. Out.
It really is odd that the Labor Party should choose to play politics over the Australian War Memorial.
Now, the Prime Minister has the call and will have silence for the answer.
It's actually, Madam Speaker, one-sided abuse that's being hurled across the parliamentary table by the Leader of the Opposition.
Given it was the previous Labor government which announced the $10 million he referred to in his previous answer, and given that both the War Memorial and his own minister in the Senate have confirmed that the $800,000 cut was a decision of this government, why is the Prime Minister breaking his promise to the Australian War Memorial?
This really is desperate stuff. It really is desperate stuff from members opposite. $7 million more under this government than under those hypocrites opposite. This is an opposition who had one of its members try to play politics with national security earlier today, and now this is their response. That's what it is. This is a pathetic game from the Leader of the Opposition to cover up for the fact that one of his members tried to play politics with national security earlier on today and had to be pulled into line. In 2010, Labor's cuts to War Memorial funding, when the Leader of the Opposition is groaning and belly-aching on the other side of the ministerial table, when he was a minister in a government, his government so cut funding to the War Memorial that it had to consider closing one day a week, or charging an entry fee, or charging parking fees just to make ends meet.
This morning I met with Liz Sinclair Long. She's a war widow whose husband actually served in Vietnam. Ms Long told me that her husband voted for the coalition at the last election based upon the Prime Minister's promise that pensions would not be cut. Why has the Prime Minister broken his word to war widows and veterans by cutting the indexation rate of war widows' pensions?
Yet again, the Leader of the Opposition is simply wrong. He is simply wrong. Pensions go up every single year. The Leader of the Opposition should stop running around the country scaring people with lies. That's what the Leader of the Opposition is doing. He's running around the country scaring people with lies. He should stop doing it. I'm very happy to occupy this if it stops you from telling more of your outrageous fibs. Well,
I call the honourable member for Malley. The Leader of the Opposition.
I seek to table the cuts to Veterans Affairs by this promise-breaking Prime Minister.